Gonna start this off. Welcome to the show.
It's not bunch of fucking bullshit. It's not Shut up! I hate you so much. Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Dude, I fucking hate that. Hell yeah. All right. Okay. Word. Word. Oh my God. Hey everybody. Fuck. Today is not easy. I'll tell you that much. And it's because I did shrooms yesterday, and it's just, obviously a fucking emotional roller coaster. So I'm going to get into that real quick, but just before we get going on this shroom, because it wasn't all happy and funny, and I'm going to try to make this as happy and funny as I can, but it was fucking brutal a lot of the times. So don't get too down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be pretty happy overall, but fuck, just got to be real. It was tough last night after coming down. I'll get into it. But first, gratitude before we get into that. Gratitude because for the past little while, I have these fucking speakers here. They are not Bluetooth at all. They are very simple. You can see the components, right? That's called a preamp. What it does is it takes a electronic signal that's made by the fucking vinyl player. That's a tiny electronic signal, and it makes the electronic signal boosted so that you can hear it at least somewhat. And this is the amplifier. That's the volume, essentially. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just think that's kind of neat. But my philosophy for things in general is I try to go as granular as possible as I can when I'm buying, especially technology, because I hate to buy things that overlap in purpose, right? Like you buy a PlayStation and a fucking TV or a computer, and now you got two things that can play Netflix. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, they both overlap, and neither of them are really good at it. So I like to go, my philosophy is I try to go really granular in the hopes that, and what I mean by granular is like buy just the components that I need so that I can build exactly the setup that I want without spending, obscene amounts of money on systems that do things that I don't need. So that's my philosophy. That's what I attempt to do. So in an effort to do that, instead of buying a full record player, I bought the components of one, right? But of course, it doesn't have anything fancy like a remote or like Bluetooth or anything like that. So here I am, I already talked about playing vinyls. It's a pain in the ass. You got to get up. I was talking to somebody recently, and they were like, yeah, but it makes music playing an experience. It's like, okay, but, when it's fucking 7 p.m. on a Friday and I'm fucking fried, I'm not trying to get up and have a music playing experience. I'm just trying to put on some fucking tunes and chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have any extra bullshit, which I like. I like, simplicity, efficiency, great. But the downside, of course, is that when you're trying to set up like a remote, there's no remote, so I get fucked. I have to go up, and if I want to put in my computer, I got to come and put a fucking dongle and, plug in all the right bullshit, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And so in order to fix that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep with my philosophy. I'm gonna go fucking specific. I bought something called a Raspberry Pi, which is a very tiny computer. The computer itself is only like that big. Literally, it's just a very small box, and it's like doesn't have a lot of power. It's just very minimal. And I was like, I'm gonna use this little piece of shit, inexpensive thing as my kind of entertainment center. Because the computer is very customizable. You can do a bunch of kind of coding shit to make it how you want. And so, look, I won't get too much into it, but it was a pain in the ass to get it set up. I had to fucking read manuals. I had to do all these things, blah, blah, blah. It was a pain. A lot of screen time, headache. This computer is tiny. It doesn't have a screen, so you have to plug in your own keyboard. And I was using my TV as the screen, and then I had to move my keyboard from one room to another. So it was like a huge endeavor. And then, you know, I was trying to get Spotify on it, but it's such a fucking basic computer. I found out that you couldn't play it with Spotify. You couldn't have Spotify on it because it's like too basic, right? So my philosophy backfired on me, which sucked. So anyway, so I do all this shit. I go through all the manual coding. I'm on the command line trying to figure out all this fucking bullshit. And then finally, today, I got it set up. And boy, let me fucking tell you, it's fucking fantastic. It is excellent, and it's just so great. And when technology works, oh, it's like fucking magic. I mean, usually it doesn't work and you want to kill yourself, but it's fucking magic. And today, I got it set up, and I got it all plugged in. And then I took my phone out and I went click, and then it played from the speakers, and it was fucking magic. So that's just a gratitude. You know, I have my place starting to get set up in terms of entertainment as you know, finally after a year and a half, 2 years. So just a moment of gratitude, right? Gratitude. And then I got this fucking fluffy thing on here. I don't know if it's going to be better or worse, but I thought I'd give it a try because I have it kicking around. So, you know, it feels so good. Okay, so shrooms. Shrooms. Oh, you know what? Actually, one more thing before I get into that. So, the fucking alarm clock of death over here that I showcased last time, I have woken up to this alarm clock once because it's so fucking terrifying. So once again, my philosophy of, you know, hardcore utilitarianism has backfired on me as I bought the alarm clock that could like wake up Satan himself. This thing is so fucking loud. I've set it up, you know, I set it up a couple nights after I got it, whatever. And then, but I usually get up pretty early. So most of the time a lot of the time I would just wake up before my alarm clock and turn it off. But one time I didn't, and it was like, you know, I was dreaming some hella intense dream. And then it was just like, it was so loud. It was like, grrr, and I was like, holy fuck. And it scared the shit out of me. And I woke up pretty terrified. So yeah, I probably won't be using that alarm clock ever because it's too intense. So I don't know. I'm going to put it out here. I think it's a pretty good prop. And it looks nice. Maybe I'll use it. I don't fucking know. I might have to go back to the drawing board on the alarm clock thing, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Okay. Shroom trip. Ugh. Holy God. Okay. This was so intense, man. Holy fuck. I have issues. I don't think that's a secret, you know. I struggle with mental health, whatever. Maybe problems is too strong a word, but challenges. You might say I'm mentally challenged. No, but you know, everyone has whatever, anxiety, depression, except for my last guest, which I was so pissed. This is a double-header episode. I'm recording 2 episodes this week. I already recorded one with Ashley Logan. Shout out to Ashley Logan. And we got to talking about mental health and shit. And I was like, yeah, you know, I struggle with anxiety, depression, whatever. And I was like, so like, you know, what about you? Thinking just like, oh yeah, same. And she was like, that's never been a problem for me. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh, you know what? Actually though, maybe I'll have to take this out because I don't know if we were recording when we had that talk. We definitely weren't recording. So I'll have to talk to her about that. But just in case I'm not, she was like, yeah, I never have that issue. And I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, I have those issues and I struggle with them, you know, and shrooms have been documented to, like, for one, help with those directly. I'm just going to turn this off. Help with those directly by kind of like making you happier, more relaxed, whatever. Like the chemical effects counterbalance some of the effects of anxiety and depression, or is what I've seen online. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that just to kind of see, you know, like test out that as a solution, just see how she goes, you know. And then also I was like, shrooms, the other thing it's supposed to do, and it definitely fucking does, is it really makes you like, they call it, they say that shrooms gives you an ego death. And I wrote down when I was high as fuck, they say shrooms gives you an ego death. And boy, was there a murder on Saturday. Because my fat fucking ego had a huge fucking death. And it was tough. Anyway, so, you know, I'm trying these things out. And, but yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do shrooms just because, you know, do a little introspection, just have a little fun time. It's also a blast just in general. The thing is that you're supposed to kind of do it in nature because nature is more of a chill zone. And I mean, I'm not a shroom expert. I've done it 2 times. So, you know, I'm not a shroom expert. You know what I mean? But that's what they say. But I was kind of like, well, you know, I live in the fucking city, so I'm not going to drive to buttfuck nowhere and do this. I don't have a car. I'm just going to fucking wing it. And then also I was like, I don't just want to sit in my house and like be a drugged out drug guy in my house. For one, because like I don't really want to do that. And then for 2, because like I feel like maybe if I did that on shrooms, I would like tweak out, be like, oh my God, the walls are closing in or like whatever, you know? So I was like, fuck it. Me, an introvert person who doesn't handle drugs well, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not a pussy bitch. I'm going to go and fucking do like my errands and just go around town. And it was like fun errands, you know, like I was going to go get some more spray paint to do like some more cool shit like that, you know? And then I was like, I went to go get like a technological piece of equipment so that I could finish my setup that I just talked about. So that was sick. And I was going to go get some fucking string so that I could make like a crazy murderer, psychopath, conspiracy theorist wall diagram for D&D. You know, I was going to do the thing where they put the string to different points and have like pictures of shit, except I was going to do it for like D&D so that I could map out the quest and like figure out where all my players are going and all that shit. So it was like fun things because it was like all these different things that I was going to get to do like other fun activities with. So I was like pretty jazzed up, but it's like, you know, it's a city. So anyway, so the first thing I do, which I thought was really funny, is I clean my house because I'm going to go out on like an adventure. There you go. Oh, anyway, hypocritical, but I'm going to go out on an adventure and then I'm going to come back. And when I come back, I don't want to come back to a messy place because that's going to be hella depressing, you know, depress zone. So I clean up and I just thought it was funny because it's like, you know, drugs are like these fucking, you're fucking degenerate doing drugs, but it's like drugs are making me clean up. So yeah. So first thing is I fucking clean my house. I clean it really well. Next is I like get all my I get dressed as opposed to just wearing like busted ass sweatpants and shit. You know, I put on like clothes and I put on my long johns because it's cold out and I'm going out on a fucking quest. And I get all my fucking quests lined up, right? I get my backpack, get all my fucking shit. I'm all fucking kitted out. I'm ready. And then, you know, I take the shrooms, whatever. And then I hop on the metro and it starts kicking in while I'm on the metro. And I make sure I bring my headphones, which was like the best call of my life. Fuck. And I put on the Baby Driver soundtrack. Now, I'm a huge fan of that movie. I think it's a cinematic masterpiece in terms of cinema and like the art form of movies. I think it's like one of the most perfectly constructed movies of the modern age. And I'm not going to get too much more nerdy than that, but I'm a big fan. The music is so fucking good. It's amazing. So I put on the Baby Driver soundtrack, which is just feel good, so fucking rad. Anyway, go on the subway. It's going pretty good, you know. I get high, like it starts to hit. I'm not like fucking high, but I'm like, you know, it's coming in. And then I get to the Barrie-UQAM metro station on the metro, which is in Montreal, one of the most crowded metro stations. And it's like, bro, fucking COVID, you know, I got my mask on and shit, but I'm like, you know, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. On the train ride over, I'm okay. I'm freaking out a bit, but I'm on the train ride over. I'm doing okay. But then the doors open and people. Barrie Cam is like 3 levels of metro, right? All going different ways. So when you get out, there's only a limited amount of time for you to get to the other metro in case you miss it. So when you get out, people fucking rush. So by the time the doors open, I'm like kind of bugging because I'm getting high on mushrooms. I'm not fucking, tripping yet, but I'm getting high. And then people get out and they're fucking rushing. And they're like, in my mind, there are like fucking, it looks like ants, or like the people themselves, they look like train lines or like perfect traffic lines, and they're moving. And I'm like, holy fuck, these people are moving so fast. Holy shit, I'm inside. I'm down in the basement. I'm freaking out, but I'm keeping it together. I'm keeping it together real cool, man. I'm like chill. At the same time as I get out of the fucking train, there's a song in Baby Driver where he's I can't remember. It's called Focus by Hocus Pocus, and the scene is he's like running and he's like getting chased by the cops. Oh yeah, it goes like this. Anyway, so he's getting chased by the cops. That comes on as the doors open to the fucking train station. So there's all these people rushing around me. I'm fucking high on mushrooms, and this Run song comes on, and all I want to do is like take off sprinting, like sprinting up the stairs. But I like keep it together. I'm like, yo, bro, chill the fuck out. That's just your crazy high brain, like just mellow. And I fucking keep it together. I was proud of myself. So then I get over that hurdle of like, all these crazy people like rushing around. I start to climb the stairs. I'm navigating well. I'm looking around. I see the exit sign. I'm following the exit sign. I get up to the top. What's the first thing I see when I get to the kind of top of the area? 3 police. Boom, right there. Just like, fucking there. Now, it's like I'm high on mushrooms, It's not like I'm fucking carrying weight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not moving coke. But it's just like, dog, it's not really the first thing you want to see. So I'm like, fuck. Just kind of tweak out a bit. I keep it cool, though. Walk to the center of the area. I look around. Where's my exit? Classic. My exit is right by the police. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Just walk by the police. Keep it chill. Obviously, nothing happens, but, I'm just freaking out. Finally get outside. Fucking feels great. Oh, baby. The sun is shining. It's a cold, crisp day, but I got all my warm shit on, so I'm like, warm. You know what I mean? So it's nice. I'm outside. But if you don't know Montreal, too, Barrie Cam is by like some fucking poor-ass people. A lot of homeless people, a lot of hobos fucking doing drugs and getting fucked up. So it's like... So I turn from the fucking subway. First thing I see is this fucking homeless dude like kind of like spitting or like throwing up on the street. I don't really fucking know. I'm like, whatever. Fuck it. That's gross and like crazy. And I'm high, but like I'll just keep walking, So... It's not the first time in my trip that homeless people are going to come up. But anyway, I keep walking. My first stop is the art store to get some fucking spray paint. Get in the store. Cute girl greets me at the door. I handle it. Hey, what's up? She says, wash your hands. No problem. Great. Thank you. Cool. Walk upstairs. I'm looking around, Now I'm in a building with other people. And there's other people around. And I'm like... fuck, and you're in the art store, and I always get kind of like nervous in stores anyway, because it's like I always feel like I should know why I'm there, and I feel like I should know where the stuff is, even though that doesn't make any fucking sense. And you never want to ask somebody where something is, because it's like, I don't know, what are you fucking idiot? You can't just look around the store and figure it out. Which is, again, so fucking stupid, because the whole point of having people there is to ask them. But the other thing I'm bugging out about is that, like, I'm English. My French is okay. I don't really want to have a struggling French conversation when I'm fucking high on mushrooms. You know what I mean? But then what kind of starts happening is, like, the mushrooms kick in, and they kind of start to give me, like, confidence, which was great. And the whole time I got my music on, I'm vibing. So I find the fucking... spray paint area. Usually they're locked, and I'm high. I look at it. It's like a big metal cage, and they have the spray paint behind these metal cages. So I don't really look closely. I just assume it's locked. I go back down to the cute girl at the front desk or whatever, who's watching the door to make sure people wash their hands. I'm like, yo, can you, I'm like, can you send somebody up? Like, is there somebody up there? I say this in French. I handle it in French. Nice work. She's like, oh, it should be open. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's kind of embarrassing. But I'm like, whatever. I don't give a fuck, you know? Now I'm kind of on the tip like, fuck this. Fuck everybody. Fuck you. I don't give a shit if you think I'm weird or I'm loud or I'm being disruptive. I'm like, fuck this. So I go to the fucking cage of spray paint. I fucking open the container and it's like loud. You know, the door is like that, and it's like kind of weighted so it doesn't stay open, and I have to kind of keep hitting it. And it's a quiet art store, right? It's quiet because everyone's doing their fucking, I'm an art person, I'm quiet. And I'm at the fucking rack like, let me get the fucking, you know, and I have my headphones in. I know I'm making a lot of noise, but I'm like, fuck that. I'm not taking my headphones off because this music is keeping me sane. So it's like, fucking, and then I try to kind of do it quietly. And then I'm like, fuck this. And I just like slam it open. Not too hard, but I like fucking open it. I take my fucking spray paints that I want. I fucking pile them up in my arms all awkwardly because I don't have a fucking basket, and then I slam it closed my foot. I kick it closed. I say, fuck you. You put it in a cage, it's gonna rattle. What do you want me to do? You want me to fucking, you know, tiptoe around the fucking cage and, I don't know, bring my own felt pad so I can quiet down your loud ass cage? Like, no. Why don't you just put it in a quieter zone, you know, so I don't have to. Anyway, I'm like, fuck this. I just fucking close it. And then I feel good because I'm like, fuck you, fuck this. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm just getting my spray paint. I'm not doing anything wrong. So I get my fucking spray paint. I put it in the fucking thing, in the fucking basket that I get. I go check out. I get my stuff. I leave the fucking spray paint zone, the art store. As soon as I get outside, I feel good, right? When I start walking, it's crisp, clear again. And I start walking, I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm feeling pretty good, and it feels pretty good. And it's really sunny, and I'm feeling really confident, you know, which is tough for me. Sometimes I have trouble, like, just kind of, like, asserting myself in public places. You know, I don't want to be a bother to people. I don't like to be irritating. So I try to kind of, you know, mask my presence or, like, minimize my impact on others because I don't want to be a bother, but I do it a bit too much. So the shrooms is, like, taking that kind of off. And it's just like, fuck you, dude. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just walking around. So I stand up really straight. You know, I'm like, what's up? And I'm like walking with my chest out. You know, I got a big smile on. I'm feeling great. And so it's just like, felt really good. And then I go to Steve's Music, which is a music store. And I walk in and I kind of just like, you know, usually maybe I'm a little more timid. And I'm like, you know, a little more polite. And I'll be like, excuse me, like, I need this. I just walk up to the cash. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for some picks. You got some picks? And he's like, yeah, right there. I'm like, great, cool. And then I forget. I'm like, oh, I need this cord. So I turn around. I'm like, hey, you got this cord? And he's like, yeah, over there. Now, look, all this shit seems very mundane. But the thing is that, like, in my head, when I'm in public places, I try very hard to be, like, to take up a small amount of space, right? I have a big, loud personality, and if I let it kind of just run free when I'm in a public space, it can be, at the very least, noticeable, right? And just remarkable, and then at the most, obnoxious, you know? So when I'm in public places, I make a real effort to not take up a lot of space, to be quiet and considerate. It's a Canadian way, you know? I think it's a real Canadian value. Anyway, a lot of the time, that kind of philosophy is a real burden. You know, it's like, I do it too much. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. People do it too much. We're a little bit too worried about politeness and about consideration. You know, we could, dare I say, perhaps take a lesson from our southern neighbors and just be a little more obnoxious and loud. Just for the sake of, you know, just saying like, dude, it's okay for me to be here. I'm just regular. I don't have to, you know, kind of tone down my personality so much. So it felt really great. And I was just kind of being assertive and just being like, yo, like, I need this, I need that, blah, blah, blah. And then I left the Steve's and it was kind of snowing a bit and it was really cold, and I was getting like little icicles on my eyebrows and or my eyelashes, and it was just really pretty. And then it started to get sunny, and it was great, and I was having a really great time. And this part of the trip was fucking fantastic. And then I keep walking, and I walk up this hill, and then what happens is I'm walking up this hill, and then I look up, and the end of the hill is like blocked off. It's like a promenade, with like not cobblestone, but like stone, where like it's a pedestrian walkway. It's closed off for cars. So at the end of the walkway, for some reason, there's like barricades because it's closed off for construction or some reason. And then I look at the barricade, I'm like, oh, I better take another route. I better just kind of go somewhere else. Even though you could get through as a pedestrian. It was just closed for like cars or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's closed. I'll just go some other way. And then I was like, no, fuck that. I'm just going to keep going. Who cares if it's closed? It's fine. I'll just, walk around the barricades. It's not a big fucking deal. I'm not breaking the law. And if I am, I'm breaking like a minor law. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go up and walk around the barricades. Who gives a fuck? It's fine. It's fucking fine. It's fine. And this was all really good. It felt really good because, again, so much of my life is like, oh, I can't do that. It would be causing a scene. You know what I mean? So it felt really good to be like, fuck a scene. I'll cause a scene, bitch. Even though a scene in my mind is like, it's like, oh, that guy just stepped over that barricade. But to me, that was like, oh, I'm going to fucking rob a bank, So it was great. It felt really good. And then I make this decision to go to the top of to march toward the barricade. And what happens as I crest this hill, this kind of incline in the road? What happens is I crest the hill, beautiful sun hits me right on the fucking top of the hill. It's gorgeous. It's sunny, gorgeous, and it's reflecting on the light snow that's coming down, and I'm fucking high as fuck, and I got my headphones on, and it's so gorgeous. And so it's this profound moment of, being high on mushrooms kind of gave me the confidence to take this blocked off path to make a scene. And what happened when I did that? I was rewarded with this beautiful, wonderful, fulfilling, son, I love you. It felt great. It felt so great. It felt fantastic. I had to stay there for a minute. I almost wanted to just stay there for the whole time, but it was like a road, and I only had so much confidence. I couldn't just fucking stand in the middle of the road like that. That was a little too much, even for confident, high on shrooms Tom. So I keep going. I go past the barricade. What happens when I approach the barricade? More police, kind of freaking out, whatever, walk past them. Now I'm getting into a more thick zone of people of Montreal. The sun moment was a high point. It wasn't the high point, but it was a high point. Now we come into a bit of a valley. I still feel really good because I'm fucking high on shrooms. It feels great. But now it's starting to get people around, right? It's starting to get more populous area. I see some police. No worries. I'm cool. I'll walk past them. Keep going. There's a fucked up traffic light. I see this lady. The police are directing traffic. She crosses at the wrong time. Police gets mad at her. I see a conflict right out of the corner of my eye. I go, oh, fuck, conflict. I hate conflict. But high me goes, don't worry about it, buddy. It's fine. It's no big deal. That lady's fine. She just made a little mistake. It's going to be okay. I keep going, Now I keep going. Now it's even more people. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, And then I'm still keeping it cool, though. What do I see now? I see on my right, a huge towering church. Beautiful. And then I look down at the bottom, and I see a fucking statue. And it's a bench. And on the bench is the brass statue of a homeless person sleeping there. And it's, it's a brutal duality between the riches of the church and the poverty directly outside of it that the church is not helping with. It's fucking striking. It's striking on its own, right? As just an art, a monument. It's fucking brutal. But then what do I see as I'm fucking high? I see a homeless man approach the fucking statue of homelessness in front of the church. And I see this homeless man look at the depiction of himself on the bench. And I'm just like, holy fuck, just so brutal. And then for another little while, it just doesn't get much better. Like I go... And then there's like, I go past more homelessness, and these people are all fucked up on the streets, and it's just like, bro, So sorry to be a downer, but it was tough. And I was still feeling pretty good, but I was also like, this is fucked up. And I wish there was more to do about it, and I could do about it. I think I'm going to start volunteering because, not to be too goody-goody, but I was like, fuck me up. So anyway, I keep going though, because I'm high. I'm like, bro, I got to get past this shit. I make it to a beautiful, sunny courtyard again. Oh, the sun. Oh, saving grace. Fantastic. I'm chilling now. I'm fucking vibing. I look back along at a view, and there's beautiful buildings, right? Nice architecture. And what do I see? I see pigeons fly and then land on a high outcropping. And I see all this beautiful shit, and it was just really great. And then, of course, again, I look to my left, and there's another church. And what is at the base of this church? But again, homeless, just like refuse, like homeless possessions, bunch of bikes. So all that to say, I get why people don't do fucking shrooms in the city, because it was a fucking lot to take in. But I handled it well. I kept going. And let me see if I can turn this around a bit, make this a little happier here. What do we have in here? Oh yeah. And then I had some other revelations when I was fucking high. And I was like, that pimp walk that like pimps in like black communities did, like back in the 70s or whatever. There's a stereotype of the pimp, like, and he's like got the walk. And then I thought, because my bum leg, right, it's all fucked up. And I was like, fuck, I have kind of a limp. It's kind of fucked up. And then I was like, man, like a pimp walk is just a limp with confidence. You know what I mean? Like a pimp walk is a fucked up walk. That's like a limp. His leg's fucked up. So as I was walking with my kind of fucked up leg, it was hurting me a bit. So I kind of like changed my gait so that it would correctly kind of not hurt my leg. And I just walked with confidence. And I was like, what's up? I got like a pimp walk too. What's up, man? Fuck. Okay, the audio just got fucked up for some reason. So I'm going to have to explain this again, which is a bummer, but whatever. Okay, so I make it through that, like, area with all these people, and the cops and all that fucking homeless people and shit. I've been walking for a while now. My leg's starting to hurt, It's cold out. I'm like, I'm going to take the metro. I go to the nearest metro station, Bonaventure Metro Station in Montreal. If you don't know it, as soon as you enter, it's like spiral staircase, kind of catacomb stairs, It looks like a catacomb. It's very enclosed stone. It smells like piss, because a lot of people are homeless and they just pee there because it's kind of like, off to the side. So I get there. As I enter it, the whole experience of me entering this metro stop feels like in Lord of the Rings when they enter the mines of Moria, because I'm exhausted. My leg hurts. I'm cold. I see this metro station. It's like, oh, yes, beacon of hope. Yes. I go there. I'm so excited to get out of the cold to rest my leg on the metro. I get in, and then, oh, my God, it's like reeks of piss. It's dank, depressing, and it's just like fucking Lord of the Rings, Mines of Moria when they show up, and they're excited to get away from that fucking monster, and then they realize they're in an even worse place. So that was crazy. Anyway, I get home. I have one more stop to make. Dollarama. I get into Dollarama. It's going pretty fine. I find my string, my murder psycho string to do my, wall with. It's going okay. And it's okay. And then I get to the checkout. I have my string and I get to the checkout. And at the checkout, there's a dad. And the dad has a kid, right, a toddler. And he's buying groceries at Dollarama. And I don't mean to judge, but if you're buying groceries at Dollarama, you probably don't have a lot of money. And what made the situation worse down the line is that the groceries he was buying looked earnest. It looked like he was using Dollarama to try to get nutritional food, as opposed to going to Dollarama and just buying like Pepsi and fucking candy. Like he was buying like the most nutritional shit that Dollarama had to try and, make his dollars count. So I was like, fuck, here's this guy just getting it done, And He's checking out. He's got a whole fucking grocery load of stuff. I get in line behind him. The line starts to pile up behind him. Now I feel kind of bad because this fucking guy, he's got a line behind him. I'm kind of getting embarrassed or stressed for him because it's like, fuck, like, shit, if I was him, I'd be freaking out, Finally, he kind of gets done, and then the lady kind of beckons for me. The lady is apathetic. She's fucking doesn't give a shit. She's like, she got long nail, she's like, I say like, hey, ¿cómo se va? She doesn't even fucking say anything. She doesn't give a fuck. I'm like, okay. I get my fucking pay for my string. Now I'm finished my transaction. I think that I saw the guy out of my corner of my eye, the dad, kind of wrap up, get all his shit in a bag. I think he's finished. But as I turn around, I realize he's not finished. And he's still kind of, not on the ground, but he's like got his bag on the ground. He's getting organized. As he's getting organized, I fucking I'm high. I'm already in the momentum to get out of the door, and I kind of forget and I freak out and I step over this single father's, I don't know if he's single, but this father's grocery bag. I step over a dad and his toddler buying groceries at Dollarama, and I got outside and I felt like such a piece of shit. I was like, how could I have literally just like stepped over somebody in need? It was just like so brutal. So after that, the trip did not go so well. I was like, ooh, like I don't feel good about myself. Like I just stepped over that guy. I should have helped him and been like, hey man, do you need a hand taking his groceries out? And it's just like, I did not feel good. Oh, bro, it did not feel good by the end of it. It felt tough. So, yeah, don't do that. If you see somebody in need, help them. And I forgot. It's tough to remember to be a good person. But the silver lining is like I came back and I felt like shit. And who do you get to, like, you're looking for forgiveness when you fuck up like that. And it's like, but who's going to forgive you in this situation? You can't hunt down the dad and be like, I'm fucking sorry, So it's like, dude, you got to learn to forgive yourself. And it's really difficult and tough. But you kind of have to learn to do it and make sure you don't fuck up next time. So anyway, that was my deep mushroom trip. It was fucking intense. It was hard, but I don't regret it at all. I would fucking do it again. I think I will do it again because it's important to do self-discovery. I'm definitely going to try to minimize my contact with homeless people during my shroom trip, which says a lot about the state of homelessness, says a lot about, the mindset of our culture and their opinion on homelessness, that I'm like, I need to hide this terrible sight from my eyes. Homelessness is fucking brutal, man. It's brutal, and I don't know. We got to try to fix it somehow. I don't fucking know, but... So that was brutal. Let me see if I have some light things for you guys, just to make yourself a little more happy. So I want my neighbors to yell so that if I can tell if I'm being loud, because I'm a loud person. I talk to myself a lot. I was listening to my neighbors talk to themselves the other day, and I was like, I wish they would get in a fight so that I can see how thin the walls are, so that I know, like, if I ever like get pissed off and yell, which happens a lot, then I will know how crazy they think I am. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you can hear me yelling, be like, motherfucker, piece of shit, then it's like you're gonna think I'm really crazy. But if like all you hear is kind of like blah 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 blah, then I'll just be like, oh, like he's having a conversation with himself, which is like fine. Or maybe he's talking on the phone. I don't know. Oh my God. I wanted to put italics in the description of my Instagram post. So I search on Google how to fucking put italics in Instagram. What comes up? A full fucking article on how to put italics. What's like the first sentence? It says some shit like, oh, Instagram posts are great, but sometimes you need a little extra oomph. This is how you can put italics in your Instagram posts. What's the second sentence? Before we get to how you can put Instagram posts in your italic in your Instagram posts, let's talk about some reasons why you might need that in your Instagram posts. Bitch, I don't fucking need reasons. I don't need you to tell me why I might need that. Are you fucking dense? Are you kidding me? Bro, I see this shit and I'm like, who is the homeboy writing this? Who has sacrificed so much of their ethics and morals that they would place the burden of reading this article on the poor, unsuspecting layman? How dare you? How fucking dare you? Because think about it. Some people had to sit down and write that article. And in order to write that article, they had to be like, you know what? You know what people need to hear? Is they need somebody. Sorry, the audio got fucked up again. They need somebody to tell them why they need to put italics in their Instagram posts. Bro, I was fucking triggered. Bunch of bullshit. Along the same line, I have an Android. Go fuck yourself. If you're one of those stupid fucking cunts who's like, oh my God, you have an Android, you can fucking kill yourself for two reasons. First of all, because almost all the features are fucking identical. So the only thing that you're saying when you say, you have a fucking Android, is you're saying, I like to suck Tim Cook's dick. That's what you're fucking saying, is I'm a slave to the cultural oppression of fucking Apple. I'm a slave to consumerism. So whenever you say that, it's just, you're a fucking idiot. So stop saying that shit, okay? Like, fucking Android? It doesn't matter. Pick whatever the fuck phone you want, okay? And the same thing if you're like, you have an iPhone, fucking, I can do so much more shit on an iPhone. No, you fucking can't, okay? I can do so much more shit on an Android. No, you can't. It's all the same shit. My Android phone is a piece of shit for a lot of reasons. I fucking hate it for a lot of reasons. iPhones are also pieces of shit for a lot of reasons, okay? We're all in this together. Don't suck the dick of Apple or Google. Fucking pick up your pitchforks and say, fuck you, Apple, and fuck you, Google, because they're both evil corporations who suck, okay? So stop sucking their dick. Jesus. Anyway, fucking Google, my Android phone, at the bottom, there's the Google search bar. Now, in case you haven't picked up, in my life, I like things simple. I like things chill. I don't like a lot of distractions because I have enough crazy fucking thoughts in my head. So I like to keep things very simple. So I'm looking at my phone and I look at the bottom. I'm doing some other shit. And then I notice at the bottom there's fucking movement. And there's a circle G for the search bar, and it's rolling out. It's like a G rolling, and then there's another design. G roll design. G roll design. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it keeps happening. And I look at it, I realize it's some fucking like advertisement or little like ding for those stupid Google like this day of the year, you know, or like Google like today on this day, this fucking jack off scientist that nobody gives two fucks about existed, you know? And look, don't even get me started on the Google days because it's like, bro, the Google days so fucking pretentious because they're like, today is the day that this scientist invented this specific type of beaker that's good for like this one science experiment. And it's like, all right, fuck. Like if I didn't already feel like a fucking idiot, now I feel so dumb because like, you know, Google's like, did you know about this scientist that invented this one thing that like changed humanity? No, I guess you didn't fucking know about it because you're a stupid fucking peasant, you know? Oh God. I actually wrote that joke on Reddit one time. And then all this fucking Reddit news were like, imagine being so insecure that the Google homepage makes you feel dumb. And I was like, I am that fucking insecure, okay? Fucking deal with it, you piece of shit. But anyway, they're right. But still, fuck, you know, nobody knows, I don't know, Jim Bob McKenzie from fucking East Asia who invented the eye droplet for pigs. You know what I mean? Anyway. So they had this fucking thing in Google, and it's a rollout animation, you know, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking I had to go into my settings because it was enabled automatically and turn it off. And I'm like, fuck, like, dude. So many things then went through my head because it's like, first of all, please don't fuck with my phone, okay? I set it up the way I like it. Stop changing it. I have it how I like it. I bought my phone and I made it so that I enjoy to use it. Stop fucking changing it, bro. Just let me have it. Don't touch it. Number one. Number two is I started to think, I was like, bro, this little animation, it's not trivial. It's not a trivial piece of software. It's not fucking complex, okay? But it's not a trivial piece of software. Now, I know you might be thinking, Tom, what the fuck did you know about software? Well, fuckface, I have an honors degree in computer science. So I know a little bit, you stupid bitch, okay? I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit. Enough to say, like, to measure the complexity of certain code. Okay, now this code, it's not fucking intense. It's not going to break the bank, but it would have taken work, hours to make, okay? Then I thought, bro, they pay someone's fucking salary to do this fucking thing. Now, not only that, right? Not only that. It's not just the money they put into this person's salary. It's going to be multiple people's salary. Because in a coding company, software company, is when there has to be like a chain of decisions, right? You can't just say like, okay, like we're just going to like, I'm engineer X, I'm going to put in whatever the fuck I want. No, it's like, okay, we're going to have a meeting. What code do you think we should go? Well, we got to work on this. So they had to have a fucking meeting. And in the meeting, somebody had to be like, I think we should put in a fucking animation that tells people fucking about our fucking thing. And that had to be a decision in a meeting where multiple people's salary were involved. So now Google is paying, at least tens of thousands of dollars, right? Because a segment of multiple people's salary, and Google's paying that cake. So at least tens of thousands of dollars on meeting, time, planning, design around a fucking piece of shit rollout animation that nobody fucking wants, you stupid ass. And so it's like, first of all, you're burdening everybody with your bullshit advertisement of your own, fucking, we're Google, we're so fucking healthy and caring, and we like to promote ingenuity and fucking learning. Okay, you're an evil piece of shit corporation that's, as good as Amazon. I don't have facts to back this up, but everybody knows Google's fucking evil because it's too big to be good. Fuck you. You're an evil piece of shit company. You're spending your own time and money creating this little cute little thing to try to promote this good image that you have, when you could be spending that money on something good that like helps the world. Give it to the fucking homeless people in Montreal that scarred me for life on my fucking shrooms trip, okay? Fuck. God, just like, Jesus Christ. Fucking Google, man. Fucking all these companies. And then I was reading that like fucking Apple, I think it's in Sweden. I read it was like some little piece of shit repair company guy, right? Some little, I'm just like, I make, my revenue for my business is like $100,000 a year, and I fix people's phones. My revenue, I take home, $50,000. I'm a little repair shop guy. No fucking power. He's fixing people's iPhones, their fucking property. They bought it. Fixing people's iPhones in Sweden. Apple has took a lawsuit against him. It's now in the Supreme Court of whatever country it is. I don't know if it's Sweden, some Scandinavian country. It's in the Supreme Court of that country. This billion-dollar company is arguing so hard against a precedent to just let people own and fix their own shit. It's like, what kind of fucking cunts? And then you think about like all the people that had to go into that, like the lawyers who have to, because it's not one, it's many. All the lawyers, right, who have to get behind this and fight it. All the law firm that hires the lawyers and encourages them to do this behavior. All the executives that make billions of dollars, backing this shit. All the medium level executives who are sucking the dick of the fucking high level executives. All the kind of, it's so many people involved in this, and none of them have the fucking nutsack to just be like, yo, this is whack as shit, and we shouldn't be doing it. And it's fucking so disheartening. And that's why I get so fucking angry all the time. And you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm hypocritical. I talk a lot of shit like we should do good, blah, 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 blah. But like, I'm guilty of buying shit from Amazon, blah, blah, blah. But it just pisses me off when I see this shit. And, when you see it on such a ground level as this little fucking animation, and it's like a twist in your side, fucking, you like that, you little stupid fuck, you like that animation? And I'm like, no, I don't put it on my phone, so I just get so angry. Fuck. I think we've gone really long time, so I'm gonna end it there. I hope this wasn't too depressing, but hopefully it was kind of funny, and hopefully you like the story of my shroom trip. I'm gonna do shrooms again. Maybe it won't be so depressing. I don't fucking know, but these podcasts always make me feel better. So thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me vent all my crazy ideas and my fucking anger. And I love you guys a ton. Mwah. Bye.